We're here at PEI Next in Atlanta, and we're right here in the middle of the exhibition. We found a really nice forecourt model, actually, that illustrates exactly what this show is all about. The convenience store and the forecourt. So Wayne is sponsoring this video review this time, and I'll be happy to meet up with Neil Thomas and to learn exactly what products they're showing here at the show. So let's meet them. Wayne is sponsoring this video review from PEI Next. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you very much, Neil. I'm talking to Neil Thomas, the global president of Wayne. Neil, the Ovation has actually been on the market for 10 years now. So what is so special about the newest one here?
So as you say, Sandra, we've had huge success with Ovation over the last 10 years. And last year we launched the Helix range, and we just looked at our North American products and felt that after 10 years, Ovation needed a refresh. So we spent a year updating the design look, bringing it much more into line with what we did with Helix. We've put the white on black displays, we've expanded the area that customers can use for branding, we've changed the profile slightly to make it more modern, and overall we've looked at the overall fit and finish of the product and tried to bring it up to 21st century standards.
And what about the Helix range? How have you developed that one?
So Helix was launched last year. When we launched it, there was one model that we hadn't quite completed, and that's the Helix 1000, which is the most basic model, primarily aimed at the developing markets in Latin America, Middle East, and Africa. So we've brought that model in, and the rest of the year on Helix has been spent finishing off the engineering and starting to move it into production. So Helix is now in production here in the US. It's in our Austin factory. It's just gone into production in Brazil. And it's shortly going into production in our factory in Europe, in Malmö, Sweden.
What about your non-dispensing products?
So this year is all about building out our Fusion focal control platform. That is the standard that we're going to use for all of our automation products in store going forward. So this year we've really started partnering with our parent GE. They have a lot of work going on in the industrial internet and the cloud. So we're going to use the Fusion focal control device as the sort of gateway to cloud-based services going forward. So if you think about mobile payment, if you think about point of sale, all of that needs a backbone and an infrastructure, and the Fusion focal controller is really going to be the centerpiece of that going forward for us.
In general, what are Wayne's plans for the future?
So the last 5 years we've spent really focusing on the hardware side of our product line, really overhauling all of our dispensers. There's a few more things and a few more innovations to come in that field, but really as I think about the next 2 to 3 years, much more of our effort will go into all of the automation products that we have, mobile payment for example, cloud-based services, cloud-based point of sale. So that's where the focus for Wayne will be over the next 2 to 3 years.
Thanks very much, Neil.
You're welcome.
Mike Heffernan is the Vice President of ARID Technologies, and Mike, when we spoke last time, there was a big discussion about decommissioning of stage 2 vapor recovery in the US. So what has happened since then?
Well, there's been a lot of debate as whether or not they should move forward. Some of the states have decided to actually move forward and decommission the vapor recovery systems. However, there are many other states that are still considering and debating whether they should or should not. Some states have actually decided to keep the stage 2 vapor recovery for this foreseeable future. We personally believe there's still a need for it because of the vehicles that are still on the road. However, we are in the process of working with some of the states to actually quantify the evaporative losses that still occur even when you take stage 2 away. There's still evaporative losses. They normally occur during the off hours or during the shutdown periods. There's actual vapor growth, and what many people don't realize is that vapor growth, even though the rate is slower, that the vapor itself is richer. So the total mass lost can be higher than you might realize.
So what does that mean for a company like ARID?
Well, it brings its challenges, and we're trying to identify, work with the states wherever we can to help quantify what the evaporative losses are with stage 2, without stage 2, and with stage 1. There's vapor losses with stage 1, and our system can help that as well. And we're trying to quantify what our system can do and what the losses are in total in each of those scenarios.
I mean, the environmental thing is obviously very important, but what about the financial loss?
The financial loss is still real, and again, we're trying to quantify what that is and the magnitude of the loss. Some people realize or believe that the losses are eliminated by taking away stage 2, and that's just not the case. There is, like I said before, vapor loss during off hours.
What is actually the current situation on a global level?
Well, that provides other challenges. Many of the other countries around the world are actually implementing stage 2 vapor recovery. And so in those areas, ARID is actively pursuing those opportunities as well, because there is, like as I mentioned, vapor growth when you have incorporate stage 2. And so we're trying to allow or provide them the information that provides both a financial payback as well as it helps the environment.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
I'm talking to Randy Dixon, owner and president of Dixon Pumps Incorporated. You're showing here a completely new fuel and oil transfer pump, which is, as you say, a complete revolution for our industry. Why is that?
The reason being is this is a 1-inch pump. It has a 2-horsepower electric motor on it. This model here that we're looking at right now is 110 volt or 220 volt. Doesn't matter what the frequencies are, the hertz are of the motor. It operates in all countries of the world. And this is a brand new design of a motor and a pump that we've created. We've spent over 10 years in R&D and development developing this. And what's so different about this product is that it's a variable speed pump with a variable speed motor. Now, variable speed motors don't sound, there's all kinds of types of VFDs, variable frequency drives for motors, but what we've done is we've incorporated it inside the motor, which has never been accomplished before. We put it actually right inside the motor with a knob on the outside of the motor, which makes the motor variable speed and cool because electronics are inside of the motor. Now, motors historically run very hot, too hot to put electronics inside of the motor. Well, we've developed a motor that runs cool. Look, touch the motor there.
Yeah.
It's cold, isn't it? And it's variable speed, which you can see right here. You can hear the volume of the motor, and you can look at the flow of the... Now, something that we've done different with the pump, with being able to put this size of motor on it, what this done is it's increased the flow and the pressure of this to double what any of the competition or any other manufacturer can achieve with the flow rate and the pressures. And being a smart motor, the motor will automatically adjust to the load on the pump.
So how's the interest been in this product so far at the show?
Phenomenal. Everybody in every corner of the world has just been hammering us. From the launch of the product, which is right now, we put it on the market less than 30 days ago, and we've sold over a year's worth of production. It's
Wow.
crazy.
So where will that geographically be available then?
All over the world. Through our office in Hong Kong, for Asia and Europe, through our main headquarters, and through all of our distribution.
Thank you very much, Randy.
Thank you for your time.
Jim Goodman is president of Fibrelite USA. So Jim, can you tell me what exactly you're showing here?
We're showing Fibrelite's complete range of composite products, everything from Fibrelite's manhole covers, multi-port products, all of our range of access covers, in addition our complete line of composite secondary containment, which includes secondary containment for gasoline dispensers, for top side of tanks, and for fill sumps, which is the area where drivers drop the fuel down into the tank. One of the things that I'd like to show you here is our products are designed to integrate with both OPW's products and KPS's products. This particular dispenser sump right now is outfitted with both the OPW FlexWork fueling in addition to KPS's polyethylene pipeline.
Something that our readers really like to know, I presume. So how will the merger with KPS and OPW, how will that impact on your business?
I think it's going to be a huge impact on our business globally. Our products are extremely complementary. OPW is an extremely strong global brand with a global sales force. KPS brings expertise on the piping side. Fibrelite brings expertise on the composite product side. So it's really a perfect fit.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Harley Bostock is Business Development Manager at FormaShape, and Harley, as I understand, FormaShape has been traditionally a supplier of equipment for water parks.
Yes.
Now you're showing architectural products for petrol stations, so what has that got to do with each other?
Well, it's an interesting bit about our history because we started over 30 years ago in Canada starting to build our own water parks. That became such a massive success that we were approached by many companies to assist them with the design and supply of equipment. So we, in the last 30 years, have done over 4,000 water park projects all over the world. Have over 500 employees also all over the world in our sales offices in Europe and elsewhere. What happened about 15 years ago is one of Canada's largest petroleum retailers called Petro-Canada approached us with a design for the canopy fascia for their gas stations. And surprisingly, it looked like a water slide on its side. And so without any plan at all, we entered into the petroleum sector, producing canopy fascia, column cladding, and building cladding for convenience stores. So it's a bit of an interesting background, but yeah, our history started with kids going down water slides, and it's a fun little introduction to a company that is now very, very global.
So what is the equipment actually you're showing here?
Well, what we're showing specifically at our site is canopy fascias, and we're showing two different types. On the lower level here is painted composite fiberglass canopy fascia, and above it is our translucent canopy fascia. Some of the unique advantages to using our product is it's a very durable material because it's composite fiberglass, but you can create very unique shapes and forms that other materials that are traditionally used in this sector, such as metal-based fascias, aluminum composite material, for example, cannot achieve that type of shapes and forms and don't have the same level of robustness that our material provides. Plus, we can provide a huge range of surface finishes, be it paint that's shown here or above vinyl decals with LEDs installed in behind and able to create a great lighting effect.
So have you already installed your products and what will be your future markets?
Well, right at the moment, our major markets, of course, is Canada. We have supplied probably up to 10% or more of all the gas stations in Canada use our fascia systems. But we're also actively entering into the United States market, which makes sense. We're right next door. Recently, within the last year, we have worked with Colombia's largest gas retailer called Terpel, and we are now installing a canopy fascia, column cladding, and building cladding system for them across Colombia. So going forward, certainly Latin America will be a major focus for us. As a group, we also have manufacturing in the Philippines and in Bahrain. So phase 2 expansion makes sense for us to look at Asia, growing markets, growing emerging markets, as well as the Middle East.
Thank you, Harley.
Thank you very much, Sandra.